Hey everybody, this is Perch. Apparently I'm right about something, so let's find out everybody loves being right every once in a while. This mail says, this makes me think you're right about increased pay for comic creators. All right. Well, let's get into this. This is going to be about Larry Hama, who recently posted something and it got some attention. But let's read the mail. It says, "Hi, hello, Perch. I've always thought of you were wrong about paying creators more. Then today I saw a tweet from Larry Hama and it hit me hard. Larry's G.I. Joe stories were a significant part of my life and were a motivating factor in my decision to enlist. Thanks to his stories, I've seen and done things that most other people can only read about or see in movies. The themes and morals of those stories were a guiding force in my life. I owe a lot to him. So does Marvel. So does Hasbro. As a veteran, I can't tell you how hard this tweet hit me. He deserves better, and I hope Skybound takes better care of him than Marvel, Hasbro, IDW, and everyone else he ever worked for did. I can see that you are right, but not totally. Some creators deserve better pay. Larry Hama is definitely one of them. And this mail is here's what Larry Hama wrote. So Larry Hama basically was posting a unsolicited mail. Somebody basically said, "Hey, would you do something for me? Would you autograph something or draw something?" I don't remember. Basically, would you autograph or draw something for me? That's what I would like. And Larry wrote, "I'm starting to get these again, mailed to my home address. I'm going to discard all mail from unknown addresses unopened from now on. I literally do not have time for this. I'm 75, and I'm still working because I cannot afford to retire. I did not receive royalties from any of the G.I. Joe material I worked on, and I do not receive royalties from Marvel foreign sales. I live on my page rate, which hasn't gone up in 30 years. I sign comics and toys for free, 2 items, as long as they're dedicated to so-and-so, but I charge for undedicated SIGs, and I charge for sketches." Somebody's like, "Well, why does he charge for undedicated SIGs?" Well, it's because people are going to resell it. So if his view, and I don't think this is unfair. If you're going to resell something, get him signed and you're going to resell it, flip it, then you should put some skin in the game and give him some cash. I think that's fair. If it's dedicated, it's truly for a fan, because it's hard to resell something like to my son Billy, or not to whatever. You get the idea. Dedicated. So that's the situation. A couple of you have asked, "Hey, wait a minute. Why doesn't he receive royalties? And why is Marvel screwing him?" And I can't tell you the firm answer to that. But I can wager a guess that I'm sure is probably fairly close to right. The likelihood is that the licensed comics that Marvel did, I mean, there's a lot of restrictions around how they can be reprinted and what can be done. And so the business entanglements are probably more complicated than, say, if you were giving royalties to Ron Mars or Silver Surfer. Now, that's not an excuse for him not getting paid by any stretch of the imagination, but I am pointing out that that's likely, be my guess, is that the relationship around the publishing and republishing and everything else makes it slightly harder. Now, there's an easy answer to this, by the way, and that would be that Hasbro and Marvel, strike a deal that allows Marvel to, print an omnibus and more things, and under new business terms that allow, Hasbro to make some money, Marvel to make some money, and the creators to get a nice royalty check. That would be a feel-good story, and it would go a long ways to, basically getting some goodwill from the community, because Larry Hama is a big name there and is well known, and that would probably be a pretty nice thing to do. That would earn them a lot of good press and would, for all intents and purposes, be free for them, particularly Hasbro, because they're putting nothing out. They're just getting a check. And Marvel would have to reprint something, but an omnibus G.I. Joe or something like that, a new edition, particularly if you got Larry Hama, maybe do a forward in it, would sell. Now, if you're Marvel, you might say, by the way, "Oh, that just helps Skybound now because we don't have the license." I mean, sure, but money, maybe you could just get some money and that would be a nice thing for him to do. But anyway, it is more complicated than that. I'm just throwing that out there. There's solutions to this problem, I guess, is my point here. To the other part of the equation, I'm right. Of course I'm right. in this instance, this is one of those where I don't want to be humble because I don't need to be. Yeah, this is common sense, and it basically goes like this: if you pay more money, you get better talent. Now, of course, you could waste your money, you could spend it stupidly and or everything else, but as a general rule, places that pay more can attract better people. It's I want to say it's capitalism 101, but it's just business sense 101. That's just how it functions. And so, if you want to have better people in comics, you're going to have to cough up more money. Full stop. And I don't know why this is a controversial point. It's been argued. I do know one of the things was somebody streamed this, clipped this a video of mine where I was making this point and basically twisted everything I said to indicate that, I wanted to pay, say, VDIL more money, which is stupid. Was never said. It's not the entire point of anything. That completely misses everything that's going on. This is just somebody being a little asshole because that's, at the end of the day, is not a controversial statement to say if you have two restaurants and one is going to pay $20 an hour and one is going to pay $50 an hour, then you're going to have more people trying to go for the $50 an hour job, and that means you have a pick of higher quality people. That's how it works. That's called that is capitalism. That is a free market. That is literally how economics work. And so for comics, if you want to encourage better people, if you want to get better people in, and or you want to encourage better behavior, money can be a motivating factor. Look, when you're paid $65 a page as a script, which is what some of the Marvel rates are, $65 a page, then you're going to get people who are willing to take $65 a page, but it's not enough money to live on. Okay, you do an entire comic, you just do the math, 22 pages. Okay, work with me. You're talking about less than $1,500 for a comic. Okay, if you get a yearly job, $1,500 times 12. I mean, again, I'll let you do the math. That's not enough money. Anybody in their right mind is going to go, well, I need to find some other gig, find some other comic, or they're going to half-ass that job and they're going to put their effort into some creator-owned material where they hope to have an upside. That's what you get. Now, I grant you, there are probably some people out there who are independently wealthy who do not need the money and just super fans of comics are going to turn their best work even if they're paid that. But why take that chance? It's a dumb chance. So you're going to have to put more money into the system, which means that that's going to bring the page rates up. It's going to make it more appealing as a job. And, you're going to get people who are like, well, I don't want to do television screening, right? Because I can make more money in comics. That's easy. That's really just how it needs to be. Now, the money doesn't come from the invisible money tree, so, that's going to have to come hand in hand with the strategy of how you're going to sell more comics so you can pay these people. But, at the same time, the two largest companies are owned by billion-dollar corporations who do have the money to do this. So it's all this is within its control. I'm not saying that, Scout Comics can cough up, better page rates, can cough up $250 a page rates. But Marvel can, DC certainly can, and there's a lot of strategies of how they might do that, the least of which might be, print fewer comics. Don't vomit out as many comics as you've been doing, and then, you can put your money for quality and hire some stronger people and ultimately cultivate a better staff. In no way, and this is just absurd, if you have people who are just not putting in good work, and you say, but I'll give you twice as much money, will you put in good work and behave yourself? Again, that will work for some people. There are definitely some people who will look at that and go, well, I do want more money, and, and maybe you get the factor of, they need the job, and so that just generates better behavior. That all can be true. I think it's definitely possible. But, at the end of the day, the purpose of putting more money on the table is so you can afford, better people. That's the reason. That's why you do it. Not a controversial statement. I feel bad for Larry Hama. Larry Hama did do a hell of a good job. He's well known for the franchise. He's synonymous with G.I. Joe. He's a talented guy, gruff guy, good guy. And yeah, if you grew up with these comics, it hurts to know that these creators are basically paid peanuts. That doesn't feel good to any of us. So I think when all is said and done, what's the solution? Well, I think there are some solves, for maybe Larry's situation that could help him out. I think this is it's going to require somebody in the business wanting to solve this problem, which is maybe a different story. But I think at the end of the day, what needs to happen is comic publishers, particularly the ones that are bankrolled by billion-dollar corporations, probably need to cough up a little bit more than they've done in the past in the interest of producing more work that they could distribute more places and have better quality. I mean, this is all self-defeating, because when you pay peanuts for things and you get lower quality, then all you're doing is you're setting yourself up for, there won't be the trade sales and the omnibuses, and yes, the royalties in the future. There won't be those extra things that can, make a big difference. You just, you're going to just stick with kind of what you have. And that's, what good is that? So anyway, yeah, there you go. I'm right about something. It's nice. Yeah. Pay people more. Sorry. Offer more. This is one of those cases where I often, and you heard the video maybe recently where I said, I misspoke, where I said that Gwen Stacy was created to die. What I meant was not all characters are meant for the main character. And I admit it, freely admit, that was a case where I could have said that one better. I knew what I wanted to say in my mind. I knew what I was trying to say. Didn't communicate well. I came back, mea culpa, sorry, tried to explain it better. And, so I'm happy to admit when things don't come out wrong. With this one, though, I don't think so. You have to really kind of stretch your imagination in order to go, Perch is advocating for some big communist takeover of comics. Like that is manipulation. I promise you, every single day you guys go out into the world and you look at different things, restaurants, car dealerships, hospitals, anything. And you will do it yourself. You look at one hospital or one doctor office, and it's kind of dumpy in a strip mall, and it's like, we can see you right now, and it doesn't look really good. And you look across, the street, and there is a rich kind of mega hospital there, where they got valet parking and everything, and you're going to go, I need to go get taken care of for this broken leg I've got. Do I go to the strip mall, urgent care, or do I go to the, nice, best hospital? When you're going to look for a lawyer, do you, look for references and look for cases one and look for, if you walk in, the guy's got his legal office in a garage, are you like, yep, this is the guy for me? Or do you look for the one that is, looks like he's making bank? I'm assuming the second. This is how it normally works. This is the same. If you put more money into comics, then you will attract better people, and you will attract attract people who want to go for that pay, and everybody wins. In theory, some people have brought up in the past, like, hey, you can pay a lot of money and still get crap. You absolutely can. None of this plan is foolproof if you're an idiot. So I guess that's the only disclaimer here is, yes, we should put more money into comics because that will help. If you are a complete and utter jackass who has no concept of how to spend your money, no idea how to spend it, you basically throw it out the window, and you go and hire all your buddies and you give them huge salaries and they can't write for shit, then yeah, this plan will not work. But that is on you. So anyway, go buy some of Larry Hama's, huh? And if you have something and you got kids or look, would it be a nice Father's Day present? Father's Day is coming up eventually. How about that? How about you get, if your dad was a military guy, get some signed by Larry Hama, send it in and, slip Larry $5. Give him, you could use more than that, but give him a little bit of money and, get something signed for dad for Father's Day. It's not a terrible idea. Anyway, and dedicate it, right? So it's personal. Yeah. Thanks for listening.